You always know NFL camp is about to start when it gets hot outside. What's going on, folks? This is Coach Marcus for Pro Fan Talk, and we've had the first day of training camp for the 2023 season, and of course, everybody is going crazy, a lot of stuff to see, and we are just ecstatic that football is back. First day of camp, everybody's showing up. You got all the kids at practice. The first real day of workouts. People getting on the field, all the rookies, all the draft picks, all the vets coming back. Everybody's in the same place, and you're ready to get down and dirty. Not going to be doing too much because you know how it is in camp these days. They don't get too crazy. They don't bang like we used to bang, but they do get a lot of work done. The Eagles are known for doing a lot in a little bit of time. There's been a lot of stuff in the news already. Jalen Hurts had his press conference. BG had his press conference. I think Fletch. A lot of people in the front as usual. Really a good first taste of what's coming. A lot of work to do. You can't really put anything on what you saw. Take everything with a grain of salt. But you can get a look and form your opinions based on what you saw in person. Size, speed, physicality on the field, coming out of their stands, things like that. You can get a little sense of what's going on, and you can kind of form some opinions based on what you see in person. There's still a lot of work to be done because you're not in pads, and that's a whole nother level up that they have to go to, but it's a good start to see people face to face in person so you can gauge what you thought. You know what I'm saying? So Jalen Hurts came out, had a decent practice. I know everybody was saying he got sacked in 11 on 11, but the one thing you got to understand is when you first get into camp, defense always has the advantage, right, when you get to camp. Because think about it. If you run an offense and let's say the running back or the wide receiver runs the wrong thing, that can screw up the play. Defense, however, is a little bit different. Because defense, you got 10 people on the field that can cover for you. The DB does the wrong thing and blows his containment, but the defensive line breaks through and flushes the quarterback out of the pocket, well, then he's kind of covered for the mistake that happened in the secondary. So you have that a lot more on the defense than on the offense. The defense will always have the advantage at the beginning of camp. The offense needs time to gel. The offensive line needs time to gel and work together and get some things right. Everybody gets on the same page. You could have a bunch of guys out there winging it, and they can still make plays. If the defensive line is getting blown off the ball, but they drop back and pass, and the defensive back or the safety makes a hell of a play, it's covered. So you don't really think about it too much. So when you see that Jalen got sacked, was it a wrong call? Was it a young player in there that didn't understand the call, ran the wrong route, had the wrong blocking scheme? There is a million different things that can go wrong on offense, and your play is ruined. So there's always going to be advantage on defense. So you can have somebody go in on defense, and they might not know anything. And all you got to do is say, line up and get to the quarterback. And that's what they'll do. They ain't even got to be familiar with the defense. Here, you got one job. This is what I need you to do. So the defense will always have the advantage in the beginning. Now that's going to change the more you get tape, the more the offense gets mental reps, the more, and this is key when you're dealing with offense. When your offense gets to a point where they don't think, when your players get to the point where they don't think, that means you know the offense. You can get out there, run the play, and you do not have to think about it. Every time you think about something, that takes a half a tick off of your speed. And that becomes huge if you are in a game time situation, because game speed is different. If you were out there in a game situation and you're thinking about what you have to do, you're probably going to get beat, or you probably won't get open. You'll probably miss an assignment because that half a second that it takes you to think about something, somebody could be by you. So those mental reps as an offense become extremely important. I saw a lot of things. Nolan Smith was jumping off the page from through all the social media. Everybody was saying how fast he is coming off the ball. We knew he was fast, but now we get to see it in person. Everybody's already looking. Nolan Smith on one side, Hassan Reddick on the other. That is a problem. You don't have to look too deep to figure that out. Offenses are going to have a problem with those two boys on the edges. You guys check me out on A2D Radio. When I had Barrett Brooks on the show, we mentioned and we talked about Christian Ellis.
Everybody thinks it's going to be Morrow. It's not going to be Morrow. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, Christian Ellis is going to make it. And quiet as kept. If Nakobe Dean don't step it up, he'll be playing the mic, and they'll put Ellis and Mike and put him at the will linebacker. And Ellis will be that down linebacker.
I got this as one of my talking points, bro. I'm like, is Christian Ellis getting too much hype or not enough?
Bro, exactly.
Not getting enough shine. No, and nobody was talking about him. He's my dark horse for this year. And when I say dark horse, that just means a player that comes out of nowhere that nobody's really talking about. There are no expectations for that player. Christian Ellis is that dude for me. I already expect Nakobe Dean the ball. I already expect Moreau to be solid. But nobody's looking at Christian Ellis. Again, based on some of the reports I've been watching, he's already stepping up and making plays on the first day. We want to see that consistent type play, making plays, having your opportunities. Not really going to make any tackles, but when you can cover, pass breakups and interceptions and things of that nature, getting your hands on the ball, when your defense can force turnovers, that's what you're looking for. BG said it in his press conference today. When you got all of these Georgia boys playing together, that is a benefit. I've mentioned that before. As a player, me specifically being an undrafted free agent going into camp, anybody that you're familiar with, it goes down in levels. The top level would be somebody that you played with. The only level I could think above that is if you're playing with a sibling or a family member. And that has happened a couple times in the league. But for the most part, if you've played on a team together and you get two of your guys from Eastern Kentucky or two of your guys from Georgia or LSU or whatever school you're from, the more guys you got from there, that means you got a camaraderie, and that does wonders for keeping you calm. You guys working together to keep each other out of trouble. That is a huge advantage, especially when you're talking about Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis, who have been on the team already. So now all of these other guys can look up to them, and they all played together. So it's all going to work together. They know the ins and outs. They can tell the guys, here's what you need to do, and here's what not to do. That's going to be a huge advantage. And not for nothing, that's going to help Jordan Davis grow as a leader because everybody's looking at him and Nakobe. All the Georgia boys are looking at him. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo, all of those new Georgia boys, Swift, all of them. They're going to be looking to Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean for leadership because they've been there. They are a young vet, but they're veterans. They've been through the process for a year. That helps your confidence. That helps you do what you need to do, and that makes you better. And not for nothing, let's just don't skip over the fact that Jordan Davis is slim and trim, dropping 30 pounds. He looks like he dropped more than that. So if that boy's coming off the ball a lot quicker, that's what we want to see. Jalen Carter's already, turning heads. But again, it's early. First impressions stick. He's making plays. Christian Ellis is making plays. Nolan Smith is making plays. And that's what you want to see. Here's the thing where you got to pump the brakes a little bit. Pump your brakes. Every team in the league is saying the same thing. Everyone. You go down the road, you jump on YouTube, you jump on social media, you look at everybody's reports on all of the teams. Everybody's saying the same thing. There's a rookie that was like, oh my God, did you see that play? He's making plays, he's making catches, he's making throws. You're going to see reports coming out of Indianapolis of Anthony Richardson making incredible throws. It's going to happen. Same thing with on Jordan Love in Green Bay. Jordan Love's going to be pretty good in my opinion. Every team is doing the same thing. There's a highlight. Saquon Barkley looked good back in the camp. Bryce Young is going to have some great throws, and everybody's going to get excited because they're going to look at what's going on in camp, and it's like, pump your brakes. This is just the way that it goes. You got to get over this sugar high from camp starting. This is the rush that you're going to get. This is the caffeine rush. This is the adrenaline boost. This first week, everything is awesome. You got to get to the next week, calm it down a little bit. Everybody kind of knows what they're doing, where they're supposed to be. Then you kind of get in a rhythm. All the new guys on the field, they understand what's going on, and they get a little bit more comfortable. Because I'm telling you now, I don't care if you're a draft pick or you're an undrafted free agent. If you are a rookie on a team and camp is starting, you are stressed the hell out. So you got to give them time to get acclimated and understand the playbook and really get comfortable with their surroundings and where they are and what they're supposed to do. So week 2 going forward, then you can start seeing some things. And then that leads to the next level going into the preseason game because you're really not going to see anybody banging in camp. So whether or not somebody can really hit or they fast off the ball against an opponent, you're going to have to see those possibly in practice in the one-on-ones, but most in the preseason games. Because now you're going up against somebody that knows nothing about you. A lot of good stuff. I was happy to see Deion came back. I watched him in the USFL. I remember watching him last preseason, and everybody was a little upset that they cut him because he balled out in preseason. And in my opinion, he earned his spot last year. Did what he had to do, go to the USFL, balled out, won the championship, was the MVP of the championship. That's how you do it. You take advantage of every opportunity you get. Now we got him back. Quez Watkins is on notice. Somebody's got to be a number 3. And this kid can play. He's going to be one of my guys as one to watch in camp. I already talked about Jordan Davis. I want to see him just minus those pounds and see him getting off the ball. Nakobe Dean, I just want him to go out there and make plays. He showed me he could play last year, and I've been saying this all off season. We're going to be upset with Jonathan Gannon even more because we're going to be wondering why we didn't play him more last year. Kobe Dean's going to be a baller. Jalen Carter, heard good things right off the bat. And you want to see that from your top pick. And we'll get more of it. And again, same thing like I just said with him being a rookie. Once that sugar rush wears off, then you kind of get settled down. He knows what he's supposed to do. Good first impression, but he's got a long way to go and a lot of improvement to make. Glad that it got started. I am efforting to get to practice next week and definitely going to be at the alumni game. And we got a lot of work to do, but good first step, good first day. And let's keep this momentum going. As usual, if you like my content, please hit that subscribe button, click on that notification bell, and we're going to get this thing going. And I will see you in the next play. Peace.